Today we are here with Maarten Dekker, the Vice President and General Manager of the European Coravin.
That's correct. Welcome to Coravin in Amsterdam.
Thank you very much for your warm welcome. We already had a little show round, and we are very pleased that you invited us here and that you let us ask a few questions about Coravin.
Always.
Cool.
Shoot.
Yes. So, for somebody who hasn't heard about Coravin, could you maybe briefly explain what Coravin is?
Basically, Coravin enables you to drink any wine in any quantity at any given point in time without committing to finish that bottle. So basically, you can drink a glass of wine on Tuesday night and from the same bottle drink another glass in 2 days, in 1 week, in a month, or in a year. Basically, in short, Coravin is about creating your own wine bar at home.
Wow, that sounds impressive.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. All right, the next question would be then, who created it? Whose idea was it? And how long did it take to make that idea to this product that we have here?
The original invention comes from a US citizen called Greg Lambrecht, who is basically a medical engineer, MIT graduate, who was sitting at his home on Sunday night, prior a week traveling again. His wife was pregnant, and he wanted to have a glass of wine. But knowing that when he would return, that wine he could throw through the sink, he wanted to invent something that basically allowed him to drink a glass of wine without removing the cork. And that's the essential, let's say, initial launch of Coravin. Very fast he understood that by inserting a needle into the cork and building up pressure in that bottle, that he would get something out of that bottle. But of course, you do that with gas. So it took him about 5 years in total as a development to understand that 99.9% argon, which is an inert gas, which is in our atmosphere, that we breathe every day, which doesn't do anything with the wine. It doesn't taste, doesn't smell, was the best gas to go for. So, and then the product was launched in 2013 in the United States, and then in 2014 here in Europe.
Wow, that's a good story.
Yeah.
So mainly you can drink wine without pulling the cork. That's how I understood it so far.
Correct.
Now, I see in Australia, New Zealand, and as well in Germany, there are many wineries nowadays changing to screw cap. How are you coping with that?
Indeed, you're absolutely right. Today, Coravin is only working on natural cork or DM, or at least on those corks that have a natural component. Because, yeah, we are inserting the needle through the cork, and we want, of course, the cork to reseal to prevent oxygen from going in. In coming summer, in the summer of 2017, because we know that in Australia and New Zealand, 98% of the wines are closed with screw cap. So this summer we will come out with a solution for this to enable to use your Coravin even on the screw cap. So stay tuned on that, but that's something that will come soon. And yes, in Germany, but also in Austria, in the USA, there's many others, let's say, countries where screw cap is evolving. On one hand, we know that there's still a lot of wines with natural cork, and at the same time, Coravin is all about innovation. So we want to make sure that everybody at any given point in time can drink the wine that they prefer using their Coravin with any closure system that they think they need.
Yeah, a little follow-up question to that. Can you already tell us how it will work with the screw cap and the Coravin?
There will be a separate, let's say, accessory.
Yeah.
So how it will work is that you unscrew the screw cap, you screw up, let's say, the Coravin screw cap,
yeah,
without first serving, so immediately you screw it on, and then you use your Coravin like you would normally use.
All right.
And that prevents let's say, the evolution of the wine continues as it was before, and up till now, we know that the wine will stay, let's say, fresh up to 3 months.
All right. That's already a big step towards that right direction.
Correct.
All right. One of the wineries we are working with is using a new cork called Noma cork that is made completely from sugar cane. It's an all-natural product. And we found out that when we use our standard Coravin, that there is a little bit of drippage. We think that this cork is going to be the new trend for wineries around the globe to prevent cork odd tastes, and would be still another alternative to the screw cap. Now we found out that the Coravin doesn't work the right way for this right now. What would be your solution for this kind of problem?
First of all, at Coravin it's all about innovation, and we are following any trends. Is it on the closure systems? Is it on any other ways that, let's say, the wine industry is evolving over time? So if certain cork components or the usage of cork is changing, we will definitely look into that to make sure that you are still able to use your Coravin even with this, let's say, new cork that has been recently coming out of the winery that you are referring to. For the moment, my suggestion would be, instead of using the standard needle, which is in your Coravin, to use maybe the vintage needle, because the closure of an older wine, so the cork, is also resealing much slower because the cork is a natural product. So with the vintage needle, which is much thinner, the hole that you are piercing through the cork will be smaller, therefore it will be easier to close. So probably that will be, in the short term at least, the solution to avoid the dripping that you are referring to.
Oh, that sounds like already a solution to our problem.
We're here to help.
Great, yeah. Now, could you maybe tell us how it works? Could you show us how it works?
Of course I am. I'm more than delighted.
All right.
So of course you have your Coravin
Yeah.
that you place on top of your bottle.
All right.
Now there's oxygen inside, and we don't want to press oxygen into the bottle.
Okay.
Most important, little perch. Now there's argon gas. Argon is heavier than air. No oxygen go into needle, and we'll just push it through. And then, basically, I pour my glass of wine like I normally would do. So not like this, but really like this. I press the trigger, gas goes in, I let go, wine comes out. The more I press, the more gas will go in, so the more pressure will be built up, so the more wine, and also the faster it will come out. But I can basically pour any quantity that I want, and I can also stop at any point in time, because I just tilt the bottle, take the Coravin off, put it on the side, a little perch, because now the wine is out of the system, and I go from white to red to rosé, back to white, so that I'm just making sure that my system is clean. End of the day, flush some hot water through, and you're done.
Wow.
Access with Coravin 3 years ago.
3 years ago. That was a big sip. It smelled so fresh. Nice. It is as new. It's really amazing. Where do you see Coravin in maybe 5 to 10 years?
At the end of the day, what our mission is, we want to enable any consumer who is interested in wine to drink wine in any quantity at any given point in time. So we really want people to enjoy in total freedom, with a lot of variety, the wine drinking, let's say, community, and enhance that. So we're really here at the end of the day to make sure that everybody is even more happier than he or she is today.
Okay. And would you as well try to tackle, for example, other products, related products to wine in general? Would we see any other products from Coravin maybe in the future?
Coravin is all about innovation. So we will follow the trends in that, let's say, specific spectrum. So stay tuned, because over the course of the years, we will make sure that Greg and the engineering team in the USA are coming out with even more products that enable you to enjoy your wine on any given day.
Right. I used Coravin in gastronomy, but nowadays I can as well see the trend that it more and more evolves to become a product for the people at home. Is that something you see as well, or let's say, where is your future market going to be?
Yeah, when we started with Coravin, we want to make sure that at least the winemakers are the ones that are understanding what Coravin is about and what we're doing. Having their endorsement was a big help for us to build our professional community in gastronomy. Then basically we moved to the wine selling retail, so the wine shops, the wine stores where people are buying, let's say, their wines and they want to be taught and educated on wines. And what we see today is already 80% of our business is in the consumer market, and 20% is, let's say, in, as we call it, in the B2B segment. But of course, we started with the wine connoisseurs, the wine passionates, the aficionados, and of course, Coravin enables you to drink any wine every day. It doesn't need to be only for expensive wines. You can drink any wine every day with Coravin. So in that sense, yes, the evolution also in non-wine selling retail. What you see today is that Coravin is also sold in the homeware departments of the department stores, because it becomes a day-to-day product that can be used in your kitchen.
Okay, now another more personal question. What is your favorite wine?
That's difficult to say, because I like wine a lot, but I would say before joining Coravin, I was very traditional in my wine drinking. I was very heavy on French and Italian. Burgundy, Bordeaux, Piemonte was, I would say, the regions that I was really favorite of. But since joining Coravin, basically the wine world is open to me. So I explored wines from California way more, from Germany, from Austria, from Spain, even Lebanon, South Africa, Australia. So because of Coravin, I probably drink a little bit more wine, but at least my variety became way bigger, and therefore also my understanding. And that's great, because I think there's so many wines to explore in this world with so many different grape varieties that I think, yeah, it is, I would say, in my old habit, I'm happy that I turned that page and now moved on to the new chapter.
Great. Thank you very much, Maarten Dekker, for this nice interview.
Always welcome in Amsterdam, always welcome at headquarters of Coravin.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for filming this.
Woo.
I'll be on 96.
Yeah, Coravin is awesome.